this is Jasmine J with the Business Umbrella here with the Let's Talk Business podcast. This season is called All Things Real Estate, and we talk about how you can use real estate as a tool to build generational wealth. So today I have a very, very special guest here with us today, Mr. Derek Boles, but I'm going to allow you to reintroduce yourself. How you doing today?
I'm good. My name's Derek. Derek Boles. I'm the broker owner of Legacy Homes and Properties. We help clients buy homes, sell homes, invest in homes, lease homes if need be, all of the above.
Okay, so before we dig into all of that, let's start off by you telling us a little bit about yourself, your background, and how did you get into real estate?
Well, I started off on the investing side. I was into rental properties and flips and things of that nature. Once I really found that I had an interest in it, I said, well, I might as well go ahead and get my license. So I got the license around 2010, 2011, somewhere in there, but I had already been investing in real estate. At the time, I was in public education. So I taught middle schoolers for 10 years.
Yeah.
But the business kind of took a mind of its own and continued to grow. And, they told a friend and tell a friend, and, and just kind of fast forward 2021, here we are.
Okay. So let's talk about that a little bit. You say that you started off with investment. So what was that like for you? Like, what led you to start investing in real estate?
So, just talking to different mentors, different individuals that I valued their opinion. They were going down to the auction, or they were finding homes that were, fairly affordable and picking them up. Around 2007, 2008, the market crashed.
Right.
And so we had a lot of properties that kind of flooded the market that were really underpriced.
Yeah.
So during that time, you could really get more house for your money. And so I was using my buying power to kind of pick up a property here, pick up a property there, wholesale, flip, etc. But just, being around good people, it's one of those things where if you're not around people that are making moves, then you don't know that there's moves to be made.
Right.
And so
right.
I did my best to kind of seek out individuals that I valued, their business sense, and they kind of got me into it, and I've been in it ever since. And so after I was doing it for myself, then it was like, okay, well, maybe I can help a good friend. Maybe I can help a family member.
Right.
And, I used my skills from when I used to be downtown promoting myself on the party scene.
Yeah.
I used it to promote myself on the real estate scene, and business has really grown since then.
Right. So you had the same game plan, just a different
Same
business.
Game plan, yeah, just different business. You have to be organized. You have to be a forward thinker. You have to promote yourself. All of those same, skills really came in handy on the real estate side. But, what's different with real estate as opposed to parties is people have to trust you.
Yes.
In real estate.
Yes.
Whereas with a party, they want to go in, But even though somebody knows you, they're not buying a home with you unless they feel like you are really what's best for their process. And so that's something that you have to build for sure.
Okay, so let's talk about that. What are some of the techniques you use or some of your strategies to build relationships with your clients? Because I do believe that's very important. So I work with clients on their financial side. Mm-hmm. And when people open up their books to you, you have to be trusted because they're very guarded with their money. So what are some of the things you do to be able to build a relationship with your clients for them to trust you?
Well, I think one thing that they really appreciate is the fact that I'm living what I'm preaching.
Okay.
I'm living what I'm teaching to you. So you can see that, yes, I'm asking you, it might be a good idea for you to buy a home, but you can see that I've bought several.
Right.
Okay. I'm telling you, hey, you want to make sure you take care of your credit, and I can show you that I'm taking care of my credit. There's a lot of success stories out there, so I can share with you some of those success stories so you can see that I'm not here to hurt you.
Right.
I'm not here to take advantage of you. I'm here to take care of you just like I took care of the other individual. And I show them that I'm human. I've made my own mistakes. I've done things that weren't necessarily proper in my own process. I don't want to see you make those same mistakes. Right. People feel a lot more comfortable when they're dealing with somebody that they can see that you're a human being.
Right.
Just
that
like
they can relate to.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Because I used to be not as professional as you see today. But, clients really respect that. They're like, okay, he came from here, and here's where he's at, so he can help me come from here, and here's where I could be as well.
Okay. So you talked about mentorship when you say you first started to get into real estate investment. So what was that like? Do you feel like that that mentorship really helped you? Do you feel like people should have mentors? Or can you speak to us a little bit about your take on that?
I think that there's no perfect person out there. There's no, there's only one perfect person ever walked the planet. and we know who he is. But I think we can pick bits and pieces from everyone. You know, I like the way this guy handles his finances. I like the way this guy handles his staff as far as the leadership component. I like the way this individual handles their work-life balance. You know, there's all different kind of skills we can pick up from individuals, and I think that if it's something that you have no knowledge in or you need some work on, you need to seek out somebody that's doing it the way that you would like to see it done, and just pick up what you can pick up from them. Some of my mentors are people I've never met. You know, people like Tyler Perry and Master P and, you know, Damon John and Magic Johnson and people like that. These are people that I just study online. I've never met them, but I like their business acumen, so I pick up on things from them as well.
Okay. So let's talk about the business itself. Okay. So how long?
So I've been in business 11 years, going on 11 years. Legacy, our current brokerage, has been here almost 3 years. We started basically in January of 2019. We started with no office. We started, we were working out of a study room at San Jacinto Junior College.
Wow.
No assistant, no office. That's where we started. And now we've grown a little bit. We have currently about 144 sales agents at our office spread out throughout the state of Texas.
Would you say your business scaled at a very fast pace? Because that's a lot.
Yeah, we grew. But, you know, our growth has really been organic. You know, I'm not out beating the streets asking people to come work with us. Most of our agents come from our other agents. You know, our agents are happy being here. They're happy with the leadership that they're getting and the guidance that they're getting. So they tell their realtor friends that this is a good place for them to be. And so I'm happy to be a part of that. I love our growth. I mean, we're the largest in the state of Texas as far as Black-owned real estate brokerages are concerned.
Congratulations.
But, thank you. But we have, you know, more goals to reach. But I'm definitely proud of where we've gotten to in such a short period of time.
So what were some of the challenges you've had over these 3 years to get you where you are today?
I mean, how long you got? You know, challenges are balancing, you know, work and family. Challenges are, you know, not doubting yourself whenever you zig when maybe you should have zagged. Challenges are trying to keep everybody happy, and we know that that's impossible. You know, challenges are the balance between patting yourself on the back and continuing to push for whatever it is that your future goals are going to be. So those are all challenges, but I feel like we've handled them well. I have great people that I work with. I have a great leadership, you know, group that helps me. You know, I definitely don't do this stuff by myself because I would definitely, my head would explode if I tried to.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I was going to ask you about delegating. You know, sometimes when someone starts a business, it's like your baby. You know, you hands-on and you want it to be handled a certain way. What was it like for you when you realized you have no other option but to start leaning on other people and delegating tasks to them?
I still struggle with that, to be honest with you. Still struggle with it. Because sometimes you feel like nobody's going to care as much as you do. And so you really have to have people in your corner that you feel like care the same amount you do so that you feel okay taking your hands off the steering wheel sometimes. But that's still something that we could do better at because, you know, I built it from zero, but I didn't even build it by myself. I mean, the logo, one of our leadership staff did. The name, one of our other leadership staff came up with. So it was never all me, but you know, the delegating part is something that we struggle with. But, you know, for instance, we sit at 144. Well, let's say, you know, in the next 2 years, we're at 344. We're going to have some other people in place that we trust in order to go there. Because with our current structure, we wouldn't be able to reach that point. So we're going to have to continue to trust individuals that are good people in order for us to continue to grow.
You know, I just want to highlight that because I really believe in being transparent with the viewers, you know, so that they can get the information they need. Currently at the nonprofit that me and my mother currently run, we're in the process of restructuring. And what's so important about this restructure is we're trying to do it in a way that is set up for growth. So my mom has led this nonprofit for 25 years, and she's been very, very successful at it. She went from, when she started the business, she had $200. She always tells people about this speech. She had $200 in a dream. She kept having this dream over and over. 3 times she had it. So then she went to her father, who, my grandfather has a machine shop across the street from the nonprofit where he had a machine shop. And she went and told him about the dream. And so she started the business. And so now she's at the point where she's ready to retire and kind of pass things on. And so I said, well, before you retire, I think it's a great idea that we work together and we restructure, we put in place procedures, and we put in place a leadership team. That way, I want this thing to grow. My mother had the nonprofit in 3 cities. I want to be in 3 states, 30 states, all the states, you know. And so making sure that you have that hierarchy, I guess, of leadership in place, because one person can't do it all.
Definitely can.
So I just want to add on to that for our viewers so they do understand, you know, that when you are trying to grow and scale, sometimes not sometimes, you have to delegate. You have to find a good team.
For sure. I mean, if you look at any large company, it's not one guy and then everybody else just goes to work. That's never the structure. And so, you know, some things we don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
That's just how it goes. You have to have people in place in order to grow. And our goals are very big for ourselves. We want to cover the entire country. You know, we're already international. We already do things outside of the U.S. And so in order for us to get there, we're going to have to, you know, have other leaders in place. And that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
And when you start off, right, you don't need all of the stuff because you're just starting off. But then you look up and you've grown. It's like, oh, crap, now I need to have some things in place. So you have to find that balance where it's like maybe you have some things in place before you necessarily need them so that your growth can be seen.
Yeah.
You don't want your growth to hit you upside the head. You're like, oh my God, now what we going to do?
Right.
So we're working on it.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I tell my clients all the time, I work with clients that are starting businesses from scratch, and I tell them all the time, let's set this infrastructure up for where you see yourself in at least 3 years. You know, let's not plan for what you want to do today, because then you'll be doing what you're doing today for the next 10 years. But if we plan on where you want to be in 3 years, you can get there a lot faster.
For sure.
So let's talk about your services.
Okay.
So what educate us. Tell me exactly what you do there and, you know, how it's beneficial to the community.
So, I mean, we have clients that come to us and need to get their credit worked on, so we can help you with that. We can definitely get you in touch with a good lender that can let you know what you qualify for, how soon or how far out your buying process will be, how much money you need to have down to put down, all that kind of stuff. So you'll have a roadmap from messed up credit to keys in your hand.
Wow.
We'll take you from A to Z, okay? Now, all of those conversations may not be with me. I might say, okay, go talk to Mr. John. Let's work on the credit. Okay, now let's go talk to Miss Sally. She's going to do the loan. Now you're going to talk to buyer's agent A. They're going to show you new construction. Buyer's agent B is going to show you some resale homes. Then you'll talk with me. We'll pick the best one for you. We'll get you your keys. So we really take you from A to Z. Now that we're getting a little older, I'm not going to tell my age on camera because, you know, I ain't 21 anymore. A lot of our clients have their home where they're going to live. And now they're like, okay, what am I going to do with this extra money? I just got a bonus. I have some money saved up. So now we're helping a lot of our clients get duplexes and triplexes and invest in apartment complexes and, you know, buy rental property and do flips and things like that. I probably have 4 deals going on right now with people that are flipping homes. They're buying it, they're going to fix it up, they're going to flip it. That's like an in and out strategy on real estate investing. But we do those things as well. And so everything from the person that needs to rent for a year to the person that wants to buy a small apartment complex, we can help everyone. As long as you're buying something that's attached to land, we can do it.
Well, there you have it, huh? So talk to me from your perspective and where you sit with your company. Talk to me about generational wealth and how real estate can be used as a tool to help build generational wealth. So
a lot of our parents, a lot of our grandparents, the ones that had property, if they were in a position to pass that on down to a 20 or a 30-year-old. At that point, you're sitting on something that you could refinance and pull some money out of to invest in a business or to invest in a separate piece of property. It's something you could cash out if you needed to, so you can pay for, you know, somebody's debt or somebody going to school or something like that. It's one of those things where everybody that's, I'm not going to say everybody, but the majority of people that are wealthy have some money in real estate.
Yes.
It's one of those things that it's just not going to go away. I mean, you can't recreate land. You can't recreate these communities that are here. And they're going to do nothing but continue to go up in value. And so for my children, for instance, I have 4 little girls, okay? Shout out all the girl dads out there, okay? I got 4 little girls. And people come to me and they say, oh, man, you're going to have 4 weddings to pay for. You better get ready. And I say, no, I don't. okay? I got 4 houses to pay for.
Right.
I don't care so much about those weddings, okay?
Right.
So my children, for example, let's say they get out of school and they want to be a painter, for example, okay? Well, what pulls most people back from that is they may not make as much money as they want to in the beginning.
Right.
But if daddy's has given me the starter home, now I can do what I want to do as opposed to doing something I feel like I have to do just because I need to feed myself. Okay?
Right.
There's a lot of people out here that are working jobs and are at occupations that they hate or that they're not fulfilled at because they feel like I have to do this because I got to feed myself. Whereas if the family is kind of taking care of your basics or your living expenses, or they've already provided you with a stream of income, now you can spend more of your years doing the things you want to do than the things that you have to do. To me, wealth isn't necessarily all about making somebody rich. You know, I don't care about making my children rich. I care about giving my children options. And real estate is one of the tools that we can use to make sure that our families have options.
So, are any of your children, like, do you talk to them about real estate and, like, expose them to it?
Do I? Yes.
How do they receive that information?
So, when they're little, they don't know what they're receiving. But the way I look at it is, if they can watch YouTube, if they can watch cartoons, if they can listen to, Yo Gabba Gabba on TV, they can listen to daddy talk about real estate. And it's just like anything else. They absorb it. They say that a child can learn a second language a lot easier than us as adults trying to learn a second language. They're just sponges. And so they know what pre-approval is. They know what a credit score is. They know, which neighborhoods have more expensive homes, what neighborhoods have starter homes. They know what Crown Molding is. And they've been listening to it, not even intentionally. Sometimes we're just on the Bluetooth in the car.
Yeah.
And they're riding. They know if daddy's on the phone, we got to be quiet. And it's going into their minds. And so if nothing else, they'll be savvy investors for themselves personally, even if they don't get into the business. I will mandate that they have their license. You don't have to be a big shot, but you're gonna have this license because it just makes sense. Even if you're just doing your own business, they're gonna have their license for that. But they're very educated for young people, and they understand, how this thing works. And I think that it's gonna do nothing but benefit them. I mean, we've seen a lot of families where one person does not understand how real estate works and maybe the other one does. But what if you have a family where neither one of them understand how it works? Now they're just shelling out money and not even thinking about it. Well, in my children's households, they're going to know what's going on.
They're going to know what's going on.
My girls know what's going on.
That's funny. I lost track. It was something you said I wanted to ask you about your children. Real estate. I don't know. Okay. Well, so with real estate as a whole, do you feel like to get involved with real estate that you need a real estate license? Like, what if I just want to flip houses, or what if I just want to get rental properties? Do I need to go get my realtor's license from your?
No, definitely not. You need to work with somebody that you trust. You need to work with somebody that understands what they're doing. If you're working with myself, for instance, you're working with somebody that sold $50 million worth of real estate to different buyers and sellers, but also I practice investing in my personal life. So I can tell you, like, hey, I've had a rental property over here. This was my experience. I've done a flip over here. This was my experience, And it's not all wins, okay? That's something that HGTV doesn't show you. I've had some rental property that's great and smooth. I've had other rental property, they tear it up and there's roaches everywhere. I mean, it's two sides to that coin. But you want to be adequately prepared going into it. You want to have a good expectations going into it so that you don't get kind of bamboozled and find yourself in a bad situation. So I would say definitely just get with somebody that knows what they're doing, what they're talking about, that you trust, and you should be fine.
Okay. So say, for instance, I want to purchase a home for myself, right? For my own family. And say my credit score is like a 300. What is your first advice to that person?
We're going to get you with a credit. We're going to get you with a credit professional that can help you get that up. And what happens a lot of times is when our credit is off, you'll try to fix it yourself because you're embarrassed to let anybody help you.
Right.
Well, when you're trying to fix it yourself, you might spend too much money that you shouldn't, or you might go the route that's going to take you too long, okay? Your route takes 2 years, whereas the professional would have a route for you that takes 10 months, okay?
Yeah.
So that's why we get with the professional, let them guide us in the best way to get our credit fixed in the most time-effective manner. Okay, and don't be ashamed. This is what they do for a living. That's like going to the foot doctor and being ashamed that my foot is broken. Well, my foot is broken, so I need a foot doctor. Okay,
Right. That's why I'm here.
If my credit's messed up, I need a credit doctor. Okay,
Right.
so don't, as a realtor, as a broker, our job is not to judge anyone. We've seen the best of the best. We've seen the worst of the worst. We're just here to help you. Okay, we're just here to help you. So we're going to put you in the right position for you to be connected with the right people, for you to be able to get what you need done. Okay.
Okay. So that's one scenario. So say that I am looking to get into real estate, but I just don't know which avenue. What is your suggestion to that person? What do you feel like some of their first steps should be to figure out exactly where they want to enter the field?
So if you're getting into it, we're going to get you with the real estate school. The real estate school should be based on what your schedule is, how you learn, things like that, what your budget is, etc. Some people go to Champion, some people go to San Jack, some people do stuff online, whatever works best for you. I'm an in-person learner. Yeah. I need to be sitting in the class in order for me to absorb it. If I'm staring at the book, I'm going to fall asleep in that dang book. Okay, right. I want to be in the class. But that's me. Everybody learns different. A lot of these younger peoples, they can, do everything online, and it's not a big deal. So we'll get you in real estate school. Once you're kind of getting through your real estate classes, now we need to decide where you want to work, what brokerage you want to be a part of that you feel like best fits, your personality and your goals. Okay, of course, that's what we do. We hire realtors all the time, but, there's lots of brokerages out there. You got to find the one that best fits you. I would say definitely interview a few of them and just see where you kind of feel like it's the best fit. Don't go where people tell you to go. You need to sit with them and see, you feel the energy, feel the vibes, and really get a feel for the culture and decide what's best for you.
So when you're looking for realtors, what are like 3 top qualities or characteristics that you're looking for when you're hiring and bringing on to your team?
So I'm really big on, I want your energy to match your expectations. Okay. So if you tell me, Mr. Boles, I want to be the best to ever do it. Okay. So you want to be Michael Jordan of real estate. Okay. Well, Michael Jordan was up before everybody else and practicing before everybody else. Right. And, practice after the game and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's the kind of energy he put out. His energy matches expectations. You can't sleep in and go to brunch and playing video games and you're doing things that are more leisure and not work, because that doesn't lead to you being that top real estate professional that you said you want to be. So I just want your energy to match your expectations. Everybody has different expectations. That's fine. Some people want to be bold. Some people want to be better than bold. Some people just want to sell a few houses here and there. Make your energy match your expectations. We look for good people. People that get along well, people that are team players, people that are not jealous and spiteful. Yeah. We don't have that kind of energy at Legacy. We really have a culture where people get along and people are supportive of one another. Okay. People that are detail oriented, people that are organized, people that are really there's a community aspect to this business. I want you to care about the people that you're working with. It's not just about the money. Because it's just about the money, you can make the money, but your client gets hurt. Right. Okay, that's not the reputation that I want to have. That's not the reputation I want my company to have. So I want you to care about those kinds of things, because there's some professionals out here that will let their client get hurt if it allows them to earn money, and that's not the kind of energy we want to be around.
Okay, so for the aspiring entrepreneur, someone that's just trying to start their own business, maybe it's not real estate, but they're ready to take a leap. What is your advice to them?
You're taking a leap. So first off, let it be a calculated leap, okay? Figure out what you need to survive, what kind of income you need in order for, the lights to stay on, and decide if you need to leap first, or you need to put some stuff away and then leap, or you need to work the side job and then leap. If you got to drive some Lyft or some Uber, make sure you can still sustain yourself while you're making this leap. Otherwise, you're going to run right back to the job, okay? Right. If you only have enough money saved up for 2 months, well, that means this leap better make you money in 2 months. Otherwise, you're going to have to quit, okay? So let's be strategic about that. Have a mentor, somebody that's done it before, somebody that's in the business, somebody that's currently working in the field that you want to work in, so that you can kind of piggyback whatever ideas you can off of them. Because again, a lot of this stuff is not reinventing the wheel. There were realtors before Broker Boles. Right. There'll be realtors after Broker Boles, and those were people that I talked to when I got into the business. So I'll say make it calculated, have a mentor. You got to believe in yourself, man. I mean, I know that sounds cliche, But when you go into an entrepreneur space, there's a million signs around you that says you're going the wrong way, stop, you're making a mistake, go back to work, whatever. And if you let that stuff rattle you, you're not going to last, because you're going to hit a lot of speed bumps. You're going to hit a lot of walls. You're going to hit a lot of dead ends. When you go into an entrepreneur space, if it was easy, everybody would do it. Nobody would go to work if it was easy just to work for yourself and get rich. Okay, so when you run into those walls, you have to decide, okay, I hit this wall, that means there got to be an opening over here. I hit this dead end, that means there has to be an opening over here. Like, you just really have to have that mentality. Otherwise, you're not going to last, okay? Everybody can stay in business once you're rich. That's easy.
Right.
Okay, but when you work for 2 years and you haven't made the money you want to make it, that's when it's difficult, okay? I remember when I quit my job, my mother didn't want me to do it. She said, son, are you sure? I was like, Mom, this is what I'm doing, okay? Just, I got it, okay? Just pray for me, Mama. I'm going, because you'll have people around you that don't get it. Everybody doesn't get it, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with having a day job if that's what you want to do. There's something wrong with having a day job if that's not what you want to do, okay? So for the people that are around you that don't get it, that's okay. They're not going to be able to relate to you, and that's all right. You honestly really shouldn't even discuss your business with them, because anything out of their mind is going to be negative. Okay, but again, if you believe in yourself, for all the people that say that it's a bad idea, you let that brush off of you because you believe that this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
So in that, do you think it's important to have a support system when you're taking that leap?
Yes and no.
Right.
When I say support system, I mean people you can get information from, but
somebody clapping you on the back and saying, yeah, you got this.
I just want you to be able to get good information from someone, but as far as having 50 people behind you that all think you're doing the right thing, screw all of that. You don't need that, all right? Because, I saw this quote on TikTok one day, getting everybody to agree, that takes too long.
Right.
Okay?
That's a job in itself.
That's just going to take too long, okay? This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. You need, hopefully you have a partner or a spouse that believes in you. You have a God that believes in you. Hopefully your children believe in you. Outside of that, let's go, okay? You don't, because everybody else is going to come and they're going to swear that they knew you were going to do good after you've done it.
Right.
Okay, but when you're first going and it's cloudy, you're not going to have a huge cheering section, and that's okay. That's normally how it is, when whoever that, what's the guy's name, invited the telephone, Alexander Graham Bell, when he said, hey, I want to invent something where we can talk to each other, we died in the same room. People probably thought he was crazy.
Right.
Everybody thought he was nuts until now everybody has a phone, you know? And so when you're going out there, having a big support system, I think that that's not necessarily needed. You need to believe in yourself. Everybody else will come along. They'll bandwagon you later.
That's great advice, Broken Boles. So, before I ask you for your contact information, is there anything else you would like to share with the viewers about real estate or about your agency?
Team Legacy, doing good business. We service in the entire state of Texas. We love to work with good people. If you're in the business and you'd like to reach out to us, by all means, please do so. We'd be happy to have you. And if you're a client, you're looking to buy something, sell something, invest in something, myself and the team, we're happy to work with you. We'll get you taken care of. So
how can they get in contact with you or your team?
So my Instagram is @BrokerBoles, BrokerBoles. That'll probably be the best way to reach me right now. That has my scheduling link. You need to schedule something with me, like a one-on-one or a consultation or something of that nature. And then myself and my admin team will get with you and figure out what you need and get you those keys or get you hired on or whatever, okay? Look at this face. It's a very trustworthy face.
I like that. So Mr. Boles will be coming to our season finale, which will be on December 12th. And we'll have a panel. All the guests, well, not all the guests, but majority of the guests will come back and we'll cover certain topics as far as mindset, just different things as it relates to real estate and hearing it from different perspectives. So you want to hear more from him, you'll be able to get free tickets at letstalkbusinesspodcast.com. So thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you, Mr. Boles, for coming out and speaking to us.
Yes, you got it.
All right.